See that bus right there? And see that castle way up on the hill? Today we're taking one to get to the other. Welcome back to Lisbon. If you're just joining us, we've already explored the waterfront of Belém and the historic heart of Baixa. Today we're heading to the highest point in the city. I'm actually not 100% sure if we'll go inside the castle itself, but it's a great area to visit regardless. We're starting here at Praça da Figueira, hopping on the bus 737 labeled Castillo. It's a quick 8-minute ride, which beats the 15-minute hike up these hills. Since we still have our €7 day pass, the ride is covered. This pass is valid for 24 hours on all Caris buses, trams, and the metro. We're planning to walk all the way back down to explore the neighborhood, so let's save our legs on the way up. Right in front of us is the Lisbon Cathedral. It's the oldest church in the city. We're going to stop and check it out properly on our walk back down. This bus is struggling up these hills, but it's impressive how it navigates these tiny, narrow gaps. I'm definitely glad I'm not the one driving this through these alleys. The bus drops you off right near the Arco do Castillo. You can walk right through this arch for free to access the castle hill. Such a sweet area, full of these narrow, beautiful streets and tiny boutique shops. There are some really good vantage points just wandering around here, but keep in mind, you aren't actually inside the castle yet. If you want to go all the way inside the São Jorge Castle to walk the ramparts and see the archaeological site, tickets are €15 for adults. If you do decide to go in, I'd highly recommend booking online to skip the queues. It can get extremely long, especially during peak season. Today isn't too bad, but it can be a real time saver. But honestly, even if you don't fancy paying to go in, it's still worth the trip up here. Wandering through these tiny alleys is definitely the highlight of coming up here. It feels so intimate, like a little village tucked away above the rest of the city. And as you're exploring, don't be surprised if you run into these guys, peacocks. There's a whole colony of them that lives in and around the castle grounds. They're quite used to people, so they just roam freely, often perched up on the ancient walls or walking right past the shop doors. Quick pro tip while you're wandering, keep an eye out for shops selling authentic cork products and hand-painted ceramics. They're everywhere here. Also, if you want a break from the crowds, look for the Miradero do Recalcimento. It's a hidden little viewpoint just 2 minutes away from the main entrance that most people completely miss. I literally just randomly walked into this archaeological site and was absolutely fascinated. It's hidden away roughly 50 meters north of the Lisbon Cathedral. The site is small, but the fact that these ruins are still standing right in the middle of the city is wild. If you're in the area and interested in history, or just want to see something truly preserved as an archaeological site, I definitely recommend stopping by. You have to do the walk from São Jorge Castle down to Baixa, and preferably right before sunset. It's the best way to see the city's layers. Starting at the top, keep an eye out for those peacocks I mentioned earlier. They just roam around like they own the place. As you start heading down the hill, the vibes are just incredible. You'll be sharing the road with the iconic yellow trams rattling past, and you'll see tons of those Tuk Tuks zipping through the tight corners. Then you hit that ancient Roman theater, roughly 50 meters north of the Lisbon Cathedral. Right after the ruins, you reach the cathedral itself, and if you time it for golden hour, the light hits that stone facade perfectly. From there, it's just a downhill stroll straight into the grand plazas of Baixa. finally back down on the flat streets of Baixa, and something might strike you as a bit unusual. It definitely did for me. You might wonder why the second oldest capital in Europe is laid out in this very modern-looking grid system. It's because the original medieval city was almost entirely destroyed by the massive 1755 earthquake. When the Marquis of Pombal rebuilt the area, he abandoned the old, chaotic alleyways for these wide, straight avenues. What makes these buildings truly special is that they were designed with the world's first anti-seismic technology. They even tested architectural models by having troops of soldiers march around them to simulate tremors. As you walk, pay attention to the street names. They still reflect the old commercial trades that once filled this district. For example, Rua do Ouro was where the goldsmiths worked, and Rua da Prata was for the silversmiths. Even today, you'll find traditional shops that have been here for generations, alongside modern boutiques. Tourists and locals love walking here because the uniform facades and spacious squares make it feel grand and organized, yet full of life. Whether you're here for the history or the shopping, Baixa is the pulse of Lisbon. We're making our way back toward Praça do Comércio, and as I promised, we're finally going to walk through the Rua Augusta Arch at this lovely time of day. We saw this arch from the other side in the first video, but it was early morning back then. It's completely different now. The street is absolutely bustling with people, and there's this incredible energy that only happens right before sunset. Just enjoy this leisurely walk with me. To wrap up the day, I'm hopping on the tram to find that perfect sunset spot by the water. I want to get one last glimpse of the Pont 25 d'Urberville. It looks exactly like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco. We could have easily walked just a few minutes from where we were to get a decent view, but honestly, since we already have the day pass, I figured I'd give you a free ride and a quick little tour by tram. There you go, the Golden Gate Bridge. As I've mentioned before, it looks exactly like the Golden Gate Bridge in San Francisco, though this one is actually a little bit longer in total length. If you look across the water to the Almada side, you can see that massive statue towering over the river. That's Cristo Rey, inspired by the one in Rio. It stands on a cliff 133 meters above the Tagus, and the view from the top of that pedestal is supposed to be legendary. But don't worry, we're actually going to be riding across that bridge in the next few videos as we head further south to explore the coast. This whole riverfront area used to be a historic shipyard where Portugal's famous explorers' ships were built, but now it's just this beautiful, chill promenade. What an incredible few days it's been. We've covered so much ground. From the maritime history in Belém to the historic heart of Baixa with its amazing Santa Justa lift in Rocio Square. And today, taking the bus up to São Jorge Castle and walking back down through those ancient, narrow alleys was the perfect way to see how all the layers of the city fit together. But the journey isn't over yet. In the next video, we're finally crossing that bridge to the other side to head even further south. We're going to explore the stunning coastline and see a completely different side of the region. Thanks for coming along on this Lisbon walking tour with me. See you in the next video.